everybody. Welcome back to the Lord of the Rings Online, the SLOTRO edition. This is Gnarlrynae. Say hello to everyone, Gnarlrynae. Good girl. We are here. God, it's been probably a month or two. Probably, like I'm saying, closer to 2 months, month and a half, or 2 months since we were on Gnarlrynae, or Dunedain for that matter. Things have been busy, and we've been trying to concentrate on Gnarlo as much as we could, but we are here, and there's the wife. Of course, I'll be right back with you. Haven't been on Lord of the Rings in over a week, and of course, she picks the perfect time to call. All right, as I said, her usual brilliant timing. There is, it's that whole thing where it used to be back in the early part of my life, together with her, the first 6 or 9 months we were together. I mean, you've heard those things where you both pick up the telephone to call the other person, and it's just like, okay, there's you don't get a dial tone or anything, and you go, hello. And the person on the other end of the line goes, hello. And they've called you, and you were thinking about calling them at the same time, and you picked it up before it even rang. They never heard it ring, you never heard it ring, but whoever called the other one, the other person picked it up before it rang because they were going to call you. Yeah, we did that many times during our first 6 or 9 months together. Well, as the relationship progresses, it becomes more into things like this, where you just sit down to do something and they decide they're gonna call you. I guess people that actually live together don't have that problem, but anyway, we had traveled, we had finished up with everything we could do in the Lone Lands. We had finished up with the whole thing with the Red Maid, and we were looking at Book 3, Chapter 2. We had gone into Book 3. I think Chapter 1 was sending us back up here to Mencham's camp. So we've come back up here, and we've got... It's been so long, we're going to show the history of it. Mencham tells us, I cannot tell you the strength of the forces of Angmar within Fornost, for I did not see them approach. The orcs and wargs that guard the gates must have entered Fornost from the north. I fear the only way to know the true strength of the enemy within Fornost is to test the defenses erected at the gates by the orcs. I would do this myself, but my old injury prevents me from doing so. Thank you, Compo. If you're willing, go to the Norbury gates north of here and slay what orcs and wargs you find. After you've done so, bring me a report of what you find. Mencham believes that the enemy has indeed returned to Fornost, but cannot tell the strength of the forces. So let's go and see what we've got. What do we get? Some coin. Ooh, Luthfeld. Luthfeld going to be better than what we wear? No, we got the cloak of the Serpent's Horde, which we got. Oh, that was our Lore Master. That looks like our Lore Master reward, maybe. Is that our level 30 reward, maybe? Can't remember. Anyway, let's go up here to Fornost. Let's mount up. Let's ride up to Fornost. And let's see what we've got going on up there, shall we? Oh, it's been a while. Been a while. Yeah, it's not often that I have to go all the way back and actually look. I actually pulled up the last episode and watched like the last 10 minutes of it. If I can say, quit saying like. I do remember that quest available, Blood Eyes packed there. Yeah, we're not going to do that, so why don't you just go on away. Go on away. Hello. Right click. Forget it. There we go. Decline. That's the one I'm looking for. Although I don't know why I decline it, because I'm sure it'll just pop up again as soon as we get close to him once more. Let's come on up to Fornost. Boy, we're getting some laggy jinking here. What is this? Stop it already. I know it's not like being around Bree or the party tree or the hedge maze right now, where we'd be getting so much lag from all the people. You're trying to tell us, trying to keep track of where all the different people are. Maybe it's loading in all these freaking weird trees and stuff. And there we've hit a... Yep, we've hit a line or something. And we've stopped moving. Oh, it's going to be one of those days, isn't it? It really is. It's going to be one of those days. Alright. Yeah, we rubber banded back a bit there, didn't we? Come on, game. Don't be acting like this just when I'm starting to like you. Okay, so we need to see what we can do. Are you one of the ones that we need to take out? You Enmity the Orcs and Orc Slayer 2. Nope, it's not the Gates of Fornost. So we need to come on up at the... Get them closer to the gates, I would imagine. There we go. That one will do. Okay, let's bring this one down. Let's get Stinky back up. Amazingly, I remembered your name, Stinky. Now, let's see what we can do about this. Let's see what we can do about this warg up here. Go ahead and take it out. Oh, everything's slow. Everything is so slow. Wow. That was pretty rough there. Are you one of the ones? Do I get credit for you if I take you out? I do. Alright, let's root you down to the spot. Let her attack you. And then we'll see if we can't go ahead and burn the heart of you. Yeah, I was watching Sherlock. Just watched the first 2 series of it again with Cumberbatch. I loved the version of Moriarty. One where he was sitting there and says, "If you don't, I will burn the heart of you." Ooh, he was evil there. Keep taking him down, and he should go down because we locked up here, and good grief, what is going on? Alright, tell you what we're going to do. I'm going to run right over here. Get into a semi-safe location off the beaten track, and I am going to log out and log back in and see if that'll help things. I will be back in just a second, folks. Okay, I'm back in, logged all the way out and back in. Let's see if that's going to help us any. It seems to be working a little bit better. A bit easier here. Doesn't seem to be quite as janky as it was. Yeah, okay. Not nearly as janky as it was. I don't know what it was that was causing us to have that problem, but hey, we will take what we got here. Now, why is that being such a problem? Can I not take that Ravager? I wonder if I hit him, am I going to attract the attention of the other one? Probably. Let's see, how many more wargs have we got to get? That was 3, so we need to take 3 more. Well, let's get this one. Oh, had me a cup of coffee, or made me a cup of coffee while all that was going on. Also, let's hit him with a stick. Didn't have time to hit him with a stick. Oh well, we'll hit you with a stick, I'll bet. Pull him right away from the Ravager there, didn't we? Okay. Got me a cup of coffee going that I have to say I don't enjoy as much as I usually would. I'm becoming a little bit of a coffee nerd. And which means that stuff like, you know, I'm enjoying having nice fresh roasted, which is cool because here in town we have definitely a place that does roast all their coffee fresh and ready to go. And I've always ground my own. I always had it fresh ground. I've always done all my own beans and that sort of stuff, but I'm enjoying to have the fresh roast now. And I got to say, it's like I used to be a big aficionado really enjoyed dark roasts. I really enjoyed a dark, rich roasted coffee. But I'm becoming much more of a fan of the medium roast now that I know how, you know, you got the different flavors of the coffee. And how, you know, medium roast just kind of, I mean, dark roast. When you got a dark roast, all it really does, you know, you got some flavor, but it's more about the roast flavor than it is it's more about the flavor of the roasting than it is the flavor of the individual bean. You know, you don't get the area, don't get the kind of particulars that you get with a light roast or a medium roast, where you've got the flavor of where it was grown and what kind of process it was done under, whether it was washed or a natural process where they let the beans kind of rot away for about a month before, or let the cherry wash away for a month before they extract the bean from it, or whether it's washed. You know, all these cause different flavors. And it was like, okay, I'm seeing, I guess, what they're talking about. We've gotten all the wargs we need, don't we? So let's go after more orcs now. And I was like, okay, I guess I see what they're talking about. Until I got a medium roast. Until I got a nice medium roast. Freshly roasted 3 days before I got it. Let's hit him with a stick. And it was in Ethiopia. It was an Ethiopian coffee. It had been roasted 3 days before I got it. I ground it nice and fresh. Put it in my AeroPress, which I've started using to cook all my coffee in. And measured it out exactly. Got my scales, measured the exact dose. 18 grams of coffee and 240 grams of water. And got them all together and roasted it for a precise minute. Roasted it for a precise minute and a half, and took my first swig of it, and it tasted like cherries. Tasted like tart cherries, and it's like, oh my God. I finally tasted, for the first time, I tasted all the notes in the coffee that they talk about how you should be able to taste, you know? And it was fantabulous. It was so awesome. And are we just wandering up here and not having stuff around us? See, I'm way on up now, aren't we? I mean, that's not going to be... That's enmity of the orcs and orc slayers. So I think we've come too far. We got to come back down this way to get those last 3 orcs. But I tasted the notes of the coffee. I could taste this one was supposed to have in particular kind of a dark chocolate, which you get a lot of. I've tasted the chocolatey flavor because that's kind of what you get with the dark roast. You get a lot of chocolate notes, you get a lot of caramel notes if you're lucky, and you get a bunch of smoky kind of flavors. But this one you could taste a really sweet caramelly type flavor to it, and you could taste the really brilliant flavor of the kind of the cherry notes as well. And it was delicious. And it's like, okay, opened my eyes to what coffee is supposed to taste like. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it now. I have decided to become something of a coffee nerd, so I'm enjoying my AeroPress. As I said, I'm measuring stuff out, measuring the precise dosages, and precisely measuring the water that goes with it, and I'm using a timer on my phone to measure exactly how long it roasts, and sure enough, you know, in the past, I've had some good cups of coffee, and I've had some bad cups of coffee that I've made, you know, which always seem to be hit or miss. And it's like, oh, I'm using the same scoop, but scoop, you know, it always says put in scoop, but the scoop, depending on whether it's a medium or a light or a dark roast, well, you use a different amount of coffee because the beans weigh less, depending on... Y'all have seen me play Coffee Roaster on here, if you actually watched my Coffee Roaster board game that I played. And you learn that, you know, as you roast the coffee, you get more or less of the moisture out of it. So the beans weigh different. So your dose is different. So yeah, in measuring the precise amount of coffee beans and the precise amount of water, and for brewing it precisely the same amount of time, you get exactly the same cup of coffee every single time. It tastes just alike every single time. And it's like, wow, I had not realized that you get that kind of precision. So I'm becoming a bit of a nerd about it. I haven't quite got to the point of roasting my own coffee yet, but I'm about to. Because I've seen the places where you can roast coffee beans, buy your green coffee beans, and do your own self-roasting in a hot air popcorn popper. So I am looking at doing that soon. Not right away. I want to get me a better grinder first. I did buy me a fairly decent, goodbye, Stinky. Conical burr grinder, but it wasn't one of the high-end machines. We're not talking about a $300 or $400 grinder here. It's more like an $80 or $90 grinder. But I'm looking at getting a hand grinder that I can take to work with me and make a perfect cup of coffee at work as well. So we'll see how that goes. Anyway, enough of my coffee obsession. Let's talk to Mencham, and I think that's going to be it for today because I am running out of time here with all the starting and stopping and jankiness it was doing. I've still got to edit this and try and see if I can get it uploading tonight. So let's go ahead and talk to Mencham. This was kind of an unexpected episode anyway.
It's a sorry day.
Just because I woke up way too early with a pounding headache and couldn't get back to sleep, so... You are truly of stout heart to face such beasts. You have my gratitude, Gnarlrynae. I only wish I could have done this myself instead of sending you in my stead, but time and injury prevents me from wielding a sword, let alone drawing a bow. I took an arrow to the knee, you know. From what you tell me, Angmar did not merely send a token force to Fornost. Nay, it appears they sent an army. Fornost has fallen once more to Angmar. Indeed it has.
Would you stay a moment and learn of my troubles?
Alright, so we're still doing level 30s, and we are level 30, so... Chapter 3, Fallen Once More. Quick now, you must return to Halbarad in Estelden and tell him what you've learned here. Angmar has taken Fornost once more. From such a fortified spot, Angmar could dominate all of the north, but there are even worse things to worry about. Tales tell of a great evil which inhabits the collapsed and ruined halls of Fornost. This evil could be called to serve Angmar. Go to Estelden and tell Halbarad all you have learned here. We certainly shall. Oh, what do you have to say? Chapter 3, Fallen Once More. Do not tarry here.
My spirit.
Go to Estelden, etc. And what did we have on Oathbreaker?
Raise the shadow upon my heart.
Here to offer the shades of men freedom from their curses. It's green, and I think it was like a small fellowship, was it not? I think it was. I think that was a false small fellowship. That's why we had not done it. Could have been a full fellowship. And your horse goes nowhere. Alright, so we'll have to ride over to Estelden ourselves. We will do that. I will meet you in Estelden next time. Gotta get to pull this up. There's the wife again, so... I wonder, let's think about what she could be calling me to say this time. And I will see you next time. Thank you for coming along, and bye-bye.